Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Where can you find the best in food storage, water purification, heirloom seeds, medical, health, and emergency supplies? LifeReliance.com. What do Mountain House, Legacy Foods, Guardian, Wise Foods, and Relief Foods have in common? LifeReliance.com. Who has the lowest prices, special offers, and free consultation to help you develop an emergency preparedness plan that makes sense for your family? LifeReliance.com. Why would Life Reliance do all this? We are family, owned and operated. Let our family help you and your family be prepared. Visit us at lifereliance.com or call 520-425-9771.
You've just joined the Prepper Broadcasting Network, where we promote self-reliance and independence. The views and opinions expressed are strictly those of the host or their guests. Visit us in the interactive chat room at prepperbroadcasting.com.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great today. Welcome to the Prepper Academy. My name is Forrest Garvin. I'm sitting here across the table with Kyle.
Hi, everybody.
Kyle readings in. It's July 29th, 2016. I got it right this time.
Very good.
Very good. So thanks for joining us tonight. We are live every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so please join us. Put it on your calendar. We'd love to have you. If you're over on Blog Talk Radio, jump over to prepperbroadcasting.com so you can chat in the chat room with us. We got several people in there now. It'll be more interactive tonight, so just join over there, prepperbroadcasting.com. If you'd like to call in for a question or listen on your phone, you can call in at 347-202-0228. That's 347-202-0228. If you got a question, press 1. The producer, G-Man, will let me know, and we'll put you on the air. Our goal tonight is to bring an interactive live radio show to you, and hope we can do that, Kyle. What do you think? You up for it?
Definitely.
Up for it.
That and the energy drink. I'm definitely up for it.
Yeah, he's been drinking energy drinks like crazy over here. Hey, I do want to mention that tonight's show is a 6-part series. We're on part 2 tonight, and it's the day 60 through 120 in what we call Intro to Prepping. It's the Intro to Prepping 101. And so what this course does, it's a year-long course, but broken down into 6 classes. And we take you through what you need to buy, what you need to train and practice, and then some mindset activities so you can get in the mindset. So it's a complete course. We're just barely touching parts of it. There'll be notes on the preppingacademy.com. That's preppingacademy.com. If you go over there, you can find the podcast over there. You'll also find the show notes over there as well. So, well, Kyle, welcome, man. It's been a whole week.
Whole week. Busy week.
Oh, you got your truck, your EMP-proof truck ready?
I do.
It's back, new engine.
Yep.
It sounds it sounds bad.
It does.
I mean, good, but bad.
But it's nasty.
It's
absolutely
bad.
Nasty.
And Kyle, actually, his truck, I hope you didn't mind me telling you this, but it's kind of, I've always wanted a truck that has that Rhino seal on it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you hit a tree or hit a stick or a rock, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you have on yours. Pretty much. Yeah. Which is pretty awesome. I want the extended cab, though. You don't have the extended cab, but.
No.
But he got that this week. That's been like 2 months in the making, folks.
Yeah. A lot of work. Luckily, I have an awesome friend who helped me out with that. Phenomenal, really.
So if I have to bug out, I'm calling. Except I don't believe in bug out vehicles, of course. Bug out vehicle is nothing more than a moving death trap.
Yeah, probably. Probably, unless you're getting up beforehand.
Right. Well, I don't know.
And then you got to know you need to.
Well, tonight we're going to go through, we got a new series. We started last week, so it's not really new, but the whole show's new. So everything's new that we do. But it's called Today's Conspiracy Theory with Kyle. A little background on that. I don't get into conspiracy theories. I don't get into a lot of politics. I just like to train. I don't care if you're here because you think Planet X is going to kill us all tomorrow or that you hate Hillary Clinton. I don't get into that. In my academy, we focus on just training people. Their motive, I don't really care so much, I guess. But Kyle, on the other hand, he thinks 4-leaf clovers are a conspiracy by leprechauns, I believe. No,
I'm not that crazy.
Okay,
although my wife did know a art teacher who actually believed in woodland fairies.
Dude, that's too much information. Okay, so today's conspiracy theory with Kyle. What is your conspiracy theory today?
Everyone probably remembers if you were a prepper last year, what was really big coming up in the fall, the Shemitah, and this year coming up in September. This is the ending of that year, and then we see stuff in the news. Obviously, we have the elections going on. You see the Deutsche Bank reported 98% slump in their earnings for the second quarter profits.
98. That's bad.
Wait, I thought no. That is bad.
That is bad.
They lost some money right there.
That's not a conspiracy theory, though, Kyle.
No, but here is.
Okay.
Is it volitional? Is there actually things going on that they are purposely driving down the market? Is there something? And for me, I've heard from police officers to people in the government for years, there is not going to be another election that removes the current administration. What happens if, the economy tanks, martial law is declared, the executive order is already written in there? People can stay in office and say, hey, for the safety and security of the nation, there's not going to be elections. You're not going to be going to your polls. And right now, with Trump leading in the polls, literally swatting Hillary all over the place, and, she has those coughing fits, too.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say?
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
Yeah. So you and Alex Jones talk daily?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Because Alex Jones. Okay.
Honestly, I don't even watch the guy that much. I maybe tune in like once a month, if that. Like the guy, but little crazy.
Your $1,000 donations a month probably help him a little bit. So
they probably do.
No, but I mean, I've heard Alex Jones speak about that. I've actually on several websites speak about how there's not going to be another election. But you did bring up Shemitah. I want to talk about that a little bit. Because Jonathan Cahn wrote the book.
Oh, yeah.
We all read it. And for some reason, and I think he led us to a day as well. When that day hit, the Shemitah year hit, that day when it started, we all expected something to happen. Well, something did happen.
Yeah.
That was the actual day that all derivatives and bonds became, not derivatives, but bonds became insolvent, meaning, or no, what's the word I'm thinking about? You couldn't buy or sell. I mean, you could buy, but you couldn't sell them.
Yeah.
I forget the word. It's leaving my mind. But anyway, something did happen. This is the first time ever the bond markets did that. But the Shemitah is a whole year. I'm glad you mentioned that because I am a Bible scholar. I have studied end times for 20 plus years. And the Shemitah is an entire year. So we're not finished with that, where everyone kind of thought something was going to happen in September. And
yeah.
So we have a few months left to go.
But I'm starting to actually feel the crunch now. I'm feeling it again. I didn't feel it too much last year. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. Not right then. Now I'm kind of starting to feel like, all right, you need to start filling up some more 5-gallon buckets with rice and beans and get it, everything else I want to have done. Thank the Lord I got the truck done.
So Kyle, we haven't started our segment tonight on what we're going to speak about, but how long have you been a prepper?
God, yeah. How long have I been alive? Probably about 16 years. 16 years. I didn't have all the finances back then, but that was whenever my mind started getting open. I think I mentioned to you before, I used to listen to George Norrie and Art Bell on Coast to Coast. Heard a lot of their conspiracy theories, and then a lot of their guests on there, preaching facts, what was going on in our country and worldwide.
Yeah, but they also talked about UFOs a lot too.
I had this one experience. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No UFOs, not for me.
But so you've been about 16 years. Now, a couple questions, if you don't mind me getting into this.
No, absolutely.
Is your wife on board?
Absolutely. And that's I'm happy you mentioned that, because one of the things, I know so many people who their wife is not on board, and actually they keep a lot of their finances and what they do with their prepping, they keep it a secret. Because, obviously the wife would rather go on vacation or buy a new sofa, get a new rug, yada, yada, yada. But it's a source of tension. Every once in a while, I might get a little bit of blowback, but for the most time, she's on board with it. It was awesome.
Yeah, getting your wife on board is important. My wife, and y'all can go back to show 1, because we talked all about my history, and we'll just talk about yours as we go, I guess. I don't know. But first of all, we are waiting for your your bio to put it on the Prepping Academy website.
A little busy. Been a little busy. It'll get done.
But once your wife's on board, that changes everything. It does. I mean, so when she sees these little boxes coming in, she knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing for her is like with anything in life, you have to have good communication skills. And I've always told her, I've been really blessed over the years with the people I've met, and I share those experiences. And some of the biggest influences for me in prepping is I've known a few Holocaust survivors. One of the last ones that passed away was interesting. Her husband was actually a spy for Britain. They got captured and was in Dachau, I believe, with her. Well, during that time, anyways. So her family was prominent in Germany at the time, or in some manufacturing plants, stuff like that. By God's good graces, she was spared and survived the Holocaust. And I remember her saying a lot to me in the years remaining in her life about how much she's seen America turning into what she's seen Germany before the Holocaust. No, I'm not saying we're going to have a Holocaust here, but society itself is greatly changing.
Yeah, you were a big Bernie fan, if I remember correct, right?
Gosh, yeah. No.
No.
Big Ron Paul fan.
Oh, you're with her, right?
Huh?
With her? That's Hillary's.
Hillary?
No.
No.
I'm just kidding with you. So, okay. So, yeah. It's my wife likes the idea I'm prepping, understands that it's my role to take care of the family, but she doesn't want to hear the negative aspects. She doesn't want to know that our economy is getting ready to fall, or the EMP and what happens after EMP. She says, I have to live in this world, and I have to raise 3 kids. I don't need to. There's enough negativity without. So she goes, I'll help you. We'll do it. Fine.
Yeah.
So like this weekend, we actually dehydrated marshmallows. They'll never make it to long-term survival storage because them things are amazing.
Yeah, you probably already made hot cocoa a few times, even though it's 101
No,
degrees
we didn't
out.
do that. No, we didn't do that. So, any news article? Oh, what'd you think? I know you watched Hillary last night, right?
No, I really.
No.
I really
did you watch
didn't.
any of the DNC or the RNC? Did you watch any of that?
I watched a little bit of the RNC. Most of the time I've been working, so I didn't bother turning in for the DNC. They already have my vote. A lot of sarcasm there.
Yeah.
No.
So would you say, I am voting for Trump. Do I think Trump's the best man he's the best man running?
I will say this. I will give him this. I was never a huge fan of Trump, personally. But I've gone back there, and I have a lot of people I've worked with over the years, friends, whatnot, who have called him everything from a racist to just a horrible person. He doesn't know how to manage his finances, et cetera, et cetera. He has been consistently the same person since the 1970s. Going back and reading some of his interviews he's done over the years. He even literally said back in the 80s, someone asked him if he would ever run for president, and he said, absolutely not, unless he's seen the United States going down the wrong path. And that's what I really like about the guys, because I find myself in that position where I'm a reluctant leader. I can lead. I don't want to. I'd rather sit back
You're
and let
a quiet leader.
I am, and I prefer to be that way. But you know who else was like that? I can't say our first president, technically our first president, but George Washington. He did not want that position. And I see a similar conviction there, where I'm not trying to say he's a George Washington.
He's George Washington.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
There is a potential there that there was a wig involved. So they do have that in common, too. But yeah.
We have the chat room saying Hillary is a killer, treasonous liar. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's new with the Democrats? I mean, seriously.
But 16.
Mm-hmm.
Really recommend that to anyone. I actually took an old coworker, and his eyes, he actually walked out. I thought he was being disrespectful.
It's out? Have you seen it already?
Not the new one, but the last one that came out.
Because you know what comes out tomorrow night, don't you?
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, you know what, though? He's
going to save the world tomorrow night.
I really don't want to go see that, though.
I know, because he's so against guns. And
and I'm like, what a hypocrite. It's like Liam Neeson, too.
Dude, but it's like reading a book. In book 4, you got to see it. I mean, I just got, maybe, I don't know how I can, I probably can scam it off the internet or something. I don't know. But I've got to see that.
Yeah, I'll be seeing it, too.
I mean, yeah. Somehow we'll watch it. Well, so I guess we should get into the show. What time is it? It's 9:17. Hey, everyone, make sure you go over to the preppingacademy.com. That's preppingacademy.com and sign up for our mailing list. We've got a giveaway that I've been putting together. We've got some SunJack solar chargers that we're giving away, one of them. We've got some tack bar, which comes into it like an ammo can and a survival kit. We got one of them we're giving away. So it's going to be one huge giveaway. I have sponsors with my Survival Academy, and it's at CarolinaPreparedness.com. And that's where I teach people out in the field and, families, parents. But you can go over there. But there's some of my sponsors. Also put together a thing called the Carolina Preppers Network. Carolina Preppers Network, which is a network in the Carolinas of 7-8 cities that we have meetings mostly monthly. In the summertime, we're taking off a few of the cities, and we have and we go around and have different people speak and train and really allow people to sit across the table and eat with someone that they've never met and talk about prepping. And we have over 1,700 members in the Carolinas. That's part of the Carolina Preppers Network. Y'all can check that website out. But anyway, go to preppingacademy.com, sign up for our mailing list, and you'll be entered into our big drawing we're going to have. I mean, it's going to be, I would say, around $700 worth of awesome in there. Oh, Sawyer water filters. There's going to be a Sawyer water filter in there. There's going to be some of their bug and tick spray. So all my different sponsors are throwing something in there. So we'll have more details on that later. But let's get into the lesson tonight, the show. The show is actually called Intro to Prepping 101. This is part 2. This is day 60 through 120. Last show we did day 1 through 60. So tonight we're going to go through this quicker because we're going to post this up on the preppingacademy.com with the podcast and the sheet that we're going to go by, so people can kind of get through it. But the goal is to take a new prepper all the way to an experienced prepper. We're going to go over mindset, what they need to purchase, and things they need to train. So it's a whole year kind of class where we can break it down into, if you want to do all this, it's impossible. Well, if you have the money, I guess you could do it. But there's a lot to read and do during this. So the first thing is on here is bug out bags. We were going to kind of skip over that because we've already discussed that.
Established. You need to find a good bug out bag. One thing I will add on there is not all bug out bags are created equally. Try and look for something that has like the 1000D nylon. Mm-hmm. Really withstand the weight. Don't go for like your $15 bug out bag from Walmart that's cheap nylon. It's going to tear apart on you.
And the ideal bug out bag weighs how much? I know yours is about 50 to 100 pounds. Mine is about 28 to 32 pounds.
I would say ideal is probably 35.
35 pounds?
Yeah.
And you got to practice with that. There is information that is going to be put up on the website, preppingacademy.com. It's like a little bug out bag sheet that you can look at and go through. So we're not going to get on that a lot. Next is heirloom seeds.
Yes.
Why do you need heirloom seeds?
Well, first of all, you need to be practicing with your heirloom seeds. Because how many years have I been doing a garden? And the first 2 years, I screwed up so much. Even this year was difficult, but that's been the heat, timing, stuff like that. But you need heirloom seeds, specifically because the garden variety you're going to buy at your Home Depot or your Lowe's, they're not open pollinating. They're GMOs. They're good for one season. So if you go out with those, you plant those, you're done after that. The other thing is you need to make sure you have them properly sealed. There's a lot of good companies out there, I think, like Heirloom Organics, Patriot Seed. Mm-hmm. They make them. They're sealed. A lot of your seeds, with the exception of maybe like beans, stuff like that, those will last a really long time. But say if you have, onions and chives, basil, things like that, those are usually not good after 6 months unless they're properly sealed.
Yeah, another thing about heirloom seeds, just owning them is not it does you some good, yeah. But their heirloom seeds are harder to grow as well.
They are.
And then you've got to learn how to take the seed off the plant and harvest them for next year.
Precisely.
And if you don't do that before the crap hits the fan, you're screwed.
And another thing, I was actually talking to another prepper this week, and I'm surprised because not many preppers consider this. They think just hardcore food. What am I feeding my family? Consider seeds for a cash crop. Like things like cotton, tobacco,
opium, poppies. Oh wait, no. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
This is not Afghanistan.
So everyone, you got to get heirloom seeds. Got to learn how to grow them. Got to learn how to harvest the seeds from them. Next on the list is gas cans, and I have 20 gallons. Why do you need gas cans?
You're gonna bug out. You need somewhere. You need, depending on how far away your location is, you want to make sure you have the fuel. I personally have 35.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 35-gallon tank. I have 35 gallons in there. I know from my ideal spot where I'd like to go to, I can make it to there with one full tank of gas, and I can make it back.
Mm-hmm.
Other places I may decide to bug out to, I can make it back 4 or 5 times.
Right. And so another key to that is never let your car, I mean, this is just basic common sense, but go below a half tank.
Yeah.
Just always keep it full. And then you have your 35 gallon. You have 35, I said 20 gallons. 20 gallons gets me to where I need to go with plenty extra with what I have in my car. Yeah. But also, if you're going to store it, you need to store it in a proper container.
Mm-hmm.
And which you can just buy gas cans. Or you got the jerry cans.
Yeah, I like the jerry cans because they don't swell as much and they don't wobble around.
Yeah, and then you got to have some kind of preserver in there. And the best, they're stable, but the best is absolutely the PRIG.
Yes.
Now, if you're diesel, it'd be PRID. Yep. But what will happen is you will put your gas in there, you'll put the PRIG in there, you'll mix it up, you'll seal it. Don't ever break that seal unless you're going to use it. Because when you break it, that actually degrades the gasoline. And you'll see the gasolines, they'll swell and they'll shrink. Don't ever say, oh, it's going to explode. No, don't do that. Just leave it in there.
Precisely.
So the next is 2 months of freeze-dried food. Now, you wanted to move this up to the first 60 days.
I did. If you can afford it, I would do as much as possible, as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Freeze-dried food, in my group, you had to have a minimum of 1 year of freeze-dried food. Everybody goes, why? What about the bulk food? The first year, I want my group not focused on food, mixing food, soaking beans. We want the things to be as normal as possible. And I can't guarantee that we're going to have a fire every week, every day to warm water. Well, freeze-dried food, you don't have to. You can put cold water in. It's nasty, but it's still good, nutritious. And, of course, there's only one food to get. That's Legacy. Do your research. Go to my website, preppingacademy.com. There's a video on there that explains why Legacy is absolutely the best buy for the dollar.
And what's one of the other reasons we share here, because we don't usually get into this, but freeze-dried, you can prepare it without the fire. And the fire is specifically because it's a security concern.
Right.
2 months, 3 months, etc. And you start, grilling out, sending off that smoke. Someone's not even going to see the smoke, but if they're hungry, they're going to smell it.
In the hollers of Tennessee and North Carolina, you'll be able to smell something barbecuing a mile or two away.
My Tomahawk steaks and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I won't have them. The next thing is a first aid kit. I mean, seriously, that's just common sense.
Yes.
We had a first aid kit. This first aid kit should be able to fit in your bug out bag, but you need to go a little bit extra. You need to have an Israeli bandage in there.
I have
a tourniquet. You need to have one of them.
I probably have. My wife has a tourniquet for her purse. I have one for myself for everyday carry. I have one in each one of my bug out bags. I have several in my large medical bag, but we have everything in there. And it's one of those things we have to take the time to hand select the items. And if you have any pre-existing medical conditions, that's another thing where you need to stock up. If you can't get, exactly what you need, start researching now to see if there's alternative medicine that you can start investing in the store.
The first aid kit, there are some people like Dr. What's the Doom and Bloom? Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy.
Oh, yeah.
They go crazy over that. So, hey, a good place to learn how to do that, put one of them together is definitely their podcast. But a first aid kit, and go overboard on everything. You need a lot of first aid.
Yeah.
The next one is a rocket stove. I have a rocket stove. It is amazing. You can cook anything on it. And the fuel is sticks. Yeah. Literally sticks in the yard, sticks in the woods, rocket stove, very little smoke once you get it going. and it works. And you can also make a rocket stove out of concrete bricks, but also you could do the Dakota tunnel in the ground. So it's the same concept, but but you need one. It burns sticks. Sticks last forever. You don't ever run out of them.
Unless you're in North Dakota, from what I understand.
Or the desert, maybe. So you get a rocket stove, and then you'll see on the action or training, you gotta learn how to use it. Because if you think you can just go put some pancakes on a pan on a rocket stove, and you're gonna burn them the first 10, 15 times.
Learn to cook outdoors. I have an awesome fire pit, and I try and build different types of fires and stuff like that. In there, cooking was a learning curve.
So next is a handgun. Here's where we're going to disagree. I say, first it's a gun. We'll say a gun because I know you're going to disagree with me on the stuff. I say get a handgun because it can start protecting you now. And I say either a .380 or a 9mm, nothing else.
Yeah.
You got to go .380. If you want a pocket pistol, which of course I have one of them, the 9mm is just hard to carry for some people.
Yeah.
Even the single stack, it's just hard to carry. But you've got to get one.
Yeah.
What would your first gun?
I will concede. Very rarely do I concede. I will say handgun's probably what you want to go with first. I won't say you need to get your concealed carry permit right off the bat. Make sure you go ahead and get your follow your local laws, go all the legal routes. But it's like I'm sure you've heard of Ferfal. Yeah, Ferfal, his blog and the Claps in Argentina. And he said the majority of people who were carrying down there, you weren't carrying a rifle because obviously you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Most people had pistols. For immediate protection, I would say, you need to have a pistol. From there, though, if you don't, most state laws, if you don't want to go out and go through the hassle of getting the license, waiting, like right now where we're at, it's 90 days minimum. Gotcha. And they're dragging it out. So I would say go for a rifle.
Get a handgun or a rifle. You got to get something for protection.
Yeah.
I say handgun because I want you this 60 through 120 day. I want you to get your carry and conceal because it does take so long to get it.
Yeah.
So I want you to get it, start getting it. So anyway, get a gun. At some point, you're going to have to own a rifle. You're going to have to own a shotgun, a .22, a AR-15, and a 9mm. You just got to have them.
And parts.
In parts. Yep. So the next is 550 cord. Do we even need to go 550?
No. Well, for beginners, I think they should know what paracord is. Paracord
is actually the cord that uses to attach a parachute, the paratrooper. It's very, very 550 means it will carry 500 pounds, and there's a thousand things you can do with it.
Yeah.
You have your wrist right now. It's good for tying your tarp up. There's 1,000 things. It's rope, just very good rope.
And they do make up to $850
or $750.
No, they make $850.
Oh, do they?
Makes $850 paracord now as well.
And then these are things to purchase. Your days 60 through 120. And the last thing is a tarp.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because you really wanted this in the last show.
I did. Oh,
yeah. And a tarp is shelter. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot of things.
I think that's one of the first things you want to put in there.
So, it's a tarp. So that's the 60 through 120 days, things you need to purchase. Again, this list will be posted on theprepperacademy.com. And right now, we're going to take a few minutes for a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Preppers Asylum is the premier preparedness outfitter. They carry in stock and ship direct the products you're looking for. MREs, freeze-dried food, Kelly kettles, water filtrates, first aid and trauma kits, stoves, personal protection, self-defense supplies, and more. Preppers Asylum are people just like you and I. Find what you're looking for and use promo code PBN at checkout to receive 10% off. That's promo code PBN for 10% off at preppersasylum.com.
TheWonderMill.com, the best grain mills on the market, with the ability to mill several items that many grain mills will not. There are 2 grain mills to choose from. The Wonder Mill Electric. It's fast and gives you a vast variety of items it can grind. The Wonder Junior Hand Grain Mill can grind a wide variety of things that even some of the most expensive hand grain mills cannot, including oily grains, nuts, and seeds. Learn more about the most resourceful tool that you may ever own. See all the exciting things that Wonder Mill can do for you and what you eat at thewondermill.com.
Hey, I'm Joe Alton, MD. I'm here to remind you that disasters can happen anytime, anywhere, and you need to know what to do in an emergency. The new 2016 third edition of the Survival Medicine Handbook is the essential guide for when medical help is not on the way. The Survival Medicine Handbook covers every issue you'll face in times of trouble, and it's all in plain English. Get the Survival Medicine Handbook at Amazon.com. I guarantee one day you'll be glad you did.
Okay, thanks for that. We're back here with Kyle and Forrest, and we're going through the action plan of the 120 days. The next one is family communication plan. I think we touched on this last time.
Briefly,
but you need to work on a family communication plan. We're not going to go over that a lot this particular time. You just need to have a way to contact. If the phones go down, radio goes off, what do you do?
Yeah. And I think we were also going to go over having that communication plan, having a book along with your contact list, your maps, manuals, etc. And we're going to go over that next week.
Right.
Take a short break from the Prepping 101 just to focus in on that, because people always ask me, hey, if something happens, whether it's some sort of terror attack, an EMP, a natural disaster, what do I need to do? What should I do?
Right. Yeah, so next week we're going to be doing a book, going through all the things you need in the book and why you need it. So the next is you got to buy some ammo, and you got to shoot the ammo. So you got your gun, now you got to shoot some ammo. You got to train.
Now, where do you get your ammo? Because I know I've told you before I use AmmoSeek.
AmmoSeek definitely gives you the cheapest price. I happen to have a friend that owns a gun shop here in town, and he gives me very good pricing. So he could be one of our sponsors one day.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have some ammo. So you got to buy some ammo. I guess that should go over to the actual purchase. But that is more of like shooting. You got to shoot a couple hundred rounds of ammo. The next is, we're going to go through this quicker on the end here, is you got to think of a bug out place.
Yes.
That doesn't mean a place in the woods to go camp out if something happens. That's not buying property. This is grandmother's house, friend's house, somewhere away that you can go to.
Like I told you a while back, the motto I follow here is actually something I adapted from another group, and it's called PACE. So you have your primary, your alternate, your contingency, and your emergency for your bug out locations. And this, the more you use PACE, it's something that you can go back and apply to multiple aspects of your life. But say for me, my primary is really going to be staying home. Depending on what happens,
mm-hmm.
I have everything there I need. I don't want to leave. If it comes down to, civil unrest, EMP, etc., I want an alternative, but something close by. Then your contingency, obviously, it's one of those things where the further back you go on these steps, you're not going to probably be able to take everything with you. So that's why it's so important to really establish a really good bug out bag.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's why mine weighs like 7.
And sometimes your bug out bag takes you to your grandmother's house or your friend's house.
Yes.
It doesn't take you to some holler in the mountains where you and your family are stranded. And the world recovered, 3 days later, and you don't know it.
No, and precisely, that's like I told you. What did I do last year? I took up, 200 pounds of food to my grandmother's, because that's actually one of my potential bug out places.
Exactly, yep. And we'll get into how to stage it and all that stuff. The next one on here is back to the bug out real quick. Just start thinking of where you're going to go if something happens. Some people already have a place. That's fine. But then this is a class that's going to take newbies to experience. And the next is finish your documents. You remember we talked about that, the first one. That's scanning your photos, your license, your marriage certificate, birth certificate. You need to get all that on a thumb drive, on many thumb drives.
Yes.
Then you need to secure those thumb drives. And once they're secure, you can put them in your bug-out bag, your car. You just need to have that information out of your house.
Precisely.
So that's all that is. The next is get a carry and conceal license. You got the gun, you're shooting some, go take your carry and conceal class. Yes, you need to have your carry and conceal class. I love when I meet someone and I ask them, hey, do you have your carry and conceal? And they go, yes. That tells me a few things. One, you're not a felon. Two, you're not a convicted child molester. It tells me you've been vetted by the government. Not that I trust the government, but I do trust any part of the government. It would be the ATF on giving people guns, I guess, because they are pretty good about that, who to give it and who not to. But you need to get that. In North Carolina, it takes 90+ days to get it.
And if you have any doubt as to why you should get it, watch the news.
Right.
Look at what's happening in Germany.
Yes.
And I just seen a news story today. They are not going to change their open door policy. How many attacks have they had in the past week? And they literally are now saying expect them daily.
Yep.
How much longer until we see it here? And are we seeing it here? And it's just not being said in that light with the attack on law enforcement and so on.
Yeah, everyone needs to read that book, The Day of Wrath, by William Fortune. I don't have it on my list. It's on the next, but that is ISIS' goal in America. Well, it will absolutely handicap.
It's not even ISIS. Long before ISIS, I might butcher the name. I've researched this stuff for years, and it was kind of along my original career path. There's been a group in the United States for decades. It's Jamaat al-Fakr, I think.
Is this one of these conspiracy theories?
No, it's not a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
It's actually an Islamic group.
Okay.
There's actually camps all around the United States, and they have associations with the Muslim Brotherhood and ISIS.
Oh yeah, there's one in South Carolina.
Right across the border.
Right across the border from us. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, get your carry and conceal. If you're listening to this and you don't think you need to carry and conceal, you're on the wrong channel. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see. It's almost like saying, "Hey, I'm a die-hard conservative, but I'm voting for Hillary Clinton." It just doesn't make sense.
No.
So, being a prepper and not having a gun, I mean, it does. It's the same. The next is to move along is plant a garden. It's not too late, is it?
No, and depending on where you're at, I mean, gosh, North Carolina, you have like 5 growing seasons practically.
Right. So, and this is all legal plants, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, plant a garden with the heirloom seeds. You got to do that. That's an action, something you need to do, learn to do. Next is take that tarp or go build a debris hut, but build a shelter. Know how to build a shelter.
What was the first shelter you ever built?
It was an A-frame debris hut.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. It was a box in my mom and dad's backyard.
Okay.
Refrigerator box, and we put it back there in the backyard, and we camped out in it.
No, I used to have, and I was intense into this whenever I was probably like 12, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend and I, we actually took a tree house, took the tree house out of the tree, dug a huge, huge pit, and built it. And actually, I had like 2 levels now to the tree house, one underground, one above ground. We would spend our summers and winters just building teepees and huts and everything.
Have you ever been evaluated?
By who?
That's a good question. That is weird.
My mother had me tested.
Yeah, but learn how to build you got get that 550 cord and your tarp and build shelters. I mean, Alone is a great show to see some different types of shelters with tarps and debris, and so that on History Channel, I guess. Yes. The next is learn how to cook with outdoor cooking. I have rocket stove, but you need to learn how to cook with an open fire pit. I guess learn how to cook with pans and without pans.
Yeah, I mean, you can cook with coals. You can cook with rocks. There's a ton of different ways, but learn to do it.
Learn how to do it. That's essential. You got to learn how to do that. We teach that in my at the Carolina my academy. There's different ways the son can cook a few things.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
well, who are the?
I even one of my sponsors is Ghost Sun Stoves.
Yeah.
But I mean that's a gadget. So
yeah.
You need to learn to cook without gadgets.
It'd be kind of a pain to carry that around.
Well,
24/7.
it fits in a backpack. It can. I mean, it has a little pack you can put on your shoulder. But learn. I mean, you can cook in seaweed. You can wrap it up. Learn how to cook fish. Learn how to dry meat. I mean, that's just you got to do that. Next, we're going to mindset. These are things that are going to help you get through tough times and get your mind prepared for when the crap hits the fan. And the first one is read a book called MAGS. Now, you're a new prepper, because this class is for new preppers. A MAG is a mutual assistant group. A lot of people are now calling that survival groups.
Is that's not related to mutually assured destruction, is it? No, that's MAG.
No. But so the goal is we're trying to get you to a point where you'll be of value to a group, because currently, if you're following us and you're doing the things we're telling you to do, your value to a survival group is zero.
Yeah.
You don't have any food. You got very little supplies. You got no training. Your mindset's not there. So we're hoping this course is going to take you to a point where a survival group would want you to be in their group. So, you need to read this book. It's called MAGS. It's by Charles Hargrove. Yeah, and it's a good book. It's basic. It's very basic. I mean, it's so basic. It's almost funny, but read that book. Another book to read is 1 Year After. You remember the first 60 days we read 1 Second After.
Yeah.
Now it's 1 Year After. Same author, William Fortune. I mean, we actually, for those that didn't listen to the last podcast, we had him come speak to our Carolina Preppers Network in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, you wanted him to go in more in depth in some things, but people have started prepping because of his books. I mean, like tons of people
have started prepping because of me too. I will scare the bejesus out of you.
I know you will. Okay, and a couple of websites to follow. One website to follow is of course the Drudge. We don't have that on here, but Drudge.
Yeah, Mad Drudge, phenomenal.
Stop watching ABC, all the network news.
I honestly don't even watch Fox anymore. Fox, CNN, MSNBC, none of them.
But Drudge and ZeroHedge.com, that's the only two news sites I go to.
Yeah. Zero Hedge in particular for all the economic news.
Zero Hedge is awesome.
A lot of friends who are financial industry, financial advisors, pay attention.
And what's the other website you mentioned as well?
SHTFplan.
SHTFplan. Mm-hmm. That's a great website. That is more of on how to learn, training.
Yes.
And some mindset as well.
They'll throw in a little bit of conspiracy stuff there too.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But, that's me.
The next is... this is some training videos. Even though Prepping Academy will have training videos.
Yeah.
But this guy is famous. I mean, when I say his name,
everybody knows.
Everybody knows this. But Southern Prepper 1, you got to go back in time and watch every video this guy has posted.
Yes.
He is awesome.
And his friend also, Engineer 775.
Scott Hunt, yes.
Yes.
But Southern Prepper 1 on YouTube, look him up, watch every single video he's produced. Just plain and simple. Just turn off the TV for the next few months and just watch them.
Yeah.
You can get a degree.
Yeah.
For that.
I think I had started getting into blog TV and the forums and stuff like that with prepping back whenever he and Scott actually both started up.
Practical Preppers?
Yeah, and actually even before Practical Preppers, just whenever they started their YouTube channels, and I think they visited a couple of the websites and Blog TV and that. But phenomenal guys, really family-oriented, patriotic American individuals.
Yes, I love him. He is awesome. Yes, awesome. And another podcast to listen to is Prepper Recon. And this guy writes books too, some really good books. But Prepper Recon, and that's mindset. So we're trying to get you on the mindset of just, like in the first 60 days, we had reading Patriots. I learned more in Patriots in that one book than there was a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. Have you read that?
No.
You have not read that. I am going to go across the table.
I spend so much time looking through the news and reading other books. For me, it's one of those things where I look for all these indicators and see what I need to be doing. I'm very good at taking all those little loose threads and seeing what's actually connected where most people don't see them.
Yep. So, but that's the mindset. So we went quickly through this part 2. Again, the notes and the bug out bag list will be posted on the Prepper. It's both. We have thepreppingacademy.com and preppingacademy.com. And so you can go to either URL. It takes you to the same place. So, but we'll have the notes there. Also, this recording of this show will be on there. Also, you can go there and enter into our contest. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Yes.
So,
this is something else I just want to point out, too, for people who are listening. Everyone refers to it as, YouTube Academy. You can go on there, YouTube University. There's all these videos for all sorts of different preppers. You and I, between the two of us, how many decades have we technically been preppers, would you say?
16 years for me.
Yeah, so we'll say about 3 decades worth, comparatively. You make a lot of mistakes along the way. You buy a lot of things that you don't need. You might train certain ways that are not necessary. So I think it's one of those things where we're trying to offer that learned experience. And we'll be doing videos, everything from basic training up to advanced firearms training here eventually.
Oh, yeah. And so on the Prepper Academy, we are going to have so many classes, and it's going to be, the goal is, one of my main goals is to get people out of the closet and get out and talk to other preppers. That's why I've started Carolina Preppers Network, where we have meetup groups in all the cities. We had 94 come to our last meeting in Charlotte. Now, in Greenville, we had, I forgot how many. In Greensboro, we had 45 or so our first meeting there. Some of these were just starting, like the Myrtle Beach area, we're just starting, the Wilmington area, just starting. Haven't had our group meeting there yet, but everyone's talking. We're getting that going. The Hickory group is slow to build as well. But we got, I forgot how many members there. Raleigh's kicking. So our goal is for the Carolinas is to get people across the table with other preppers and talk about not live in the form world. You know what I mean? Because you've done that. Haven't you done that a lot? Because in the early years, you did a lot of forums, and I had a lot of forums. I had some best friends that I never met, and their name was Hiker North Carolina 6'7".
Yeah.
That's how I knew them. And but in the Prepping Academy, we're going to have classes on there where it's going to be interactive, where we can we'll shoot a video and show you how to build a fire with ice or with rocks, and then we want you to learn how to do it. Videotape yourself, send the video back to us. We will analyze it. And if you do a great job and talk through all the points, we will certify you on, hey, you are awesome at building fires. You know how to build a fire. Here is a certificate saying that you know how to do that. And so we're going to certify people as they gain skills.
Yeah.
There's nothing like this in the industry currently, except there's a one level, instructor in survival, but not really in the prepping world. And so we're going to do that. And we're going to have fun with it. We're also, a new thing that we're adding after the show tonight is we're going to be on Zillow, which I don't even know if there's any members yet. This is the first announcement. Zillow is like a walkie-talkie using smartphones. So after the show, everyone can go, if you go to the preppingacademy.com, it has a page It has a radio broadcast, and none of that. It has the after show, and it has Zillow, and it tells you how to join, and we can all talk to each other. And I'm not going to be on there for hours, but
yeah,
we can talk, ask questions, just get to know each other. It's very interactive. Matter of fact, that's all it is being interactive. So we're going to start that tonight. Now I have it, so I have to approve you. So I need a few minutes to shut the show down, get my phone, and we'll get that going. But I have other people in there that's going to be in there and help me moderate it as well. Joe and Bruce and Kyle. So we'll have some moderators in there. But that's going to be, I'm hoping that'll be 10 o'clock every Friday night. It's going to be called the After Show. And we're going to just get on there and talk, ask questions, and hang out. That will be open 24 hours a day. And hopefully we'll build enough people in there that anytime you want to go ask a question or talk to someone will be in there.
Prepper customer service.
Yeah. All you need is your credit card. No. It's totally free. The app is free. I do have to warn you, everything that is said in there is recorded, and it can be played back later. So don't be giving a lot of details about yourself unless you want to. Don't be talking about anything that is very sensitive. But it is a way to communicate. There's just nothing to be secret anymore except Signal. We use Signal.
Yes.
That's a text messaging software, 100% safe, 100%.
Yes.
So.
And still legal for the time being.
Still legal for the time being. Matter of fact, I'm talking at Prepper Camp in Saluda in September. I am speaking on software-defined radios, which is a little device, and I'll do a show on that one day. And also software like Signal, the Darknet, the Deep Web, all that. That's what I'm speaking about. And there's actually in Congress a bill going through to make some of that stuff illegal. So join us for the after show. You have to go look for the Prepping Academy on Zillow. If you go to the website Prepping Academy, and you'll find a link there and information on how to join it. And I hope to talk to some of you guys personally after the show. Give me a few minutes. I have to approve everyone.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys have any suggestions, things you want us to cover on future shows, we usually have 10, 15, 20 minutes where we can fill in other things. We try and build this, to get through it pretty quickly, to get, the maximum amount of information you guys. If you have specific questions, you didn't have a chance to join in on the chat, hit us up on the after show and shoot those questions by us.
And one thing we again, this came up and it snuck up on us, and we weren't really sure what to do. So we put together some of our classes, and we're like, okay, we'll go through that. So we'll get better as we go. We're getting a 2-minute warning from G-Man, but I do want everyone to go to the preppingacademy.com. Our old podcasts are there. When you click on that podcast, it's really just playing it from the Prepper Broadcasting Network. But we have our show notes there. Also, you can sign up for our giveaway, which is our mailing list. Sign up for our mailing list, and there'll be a gift. We'll put your name in for a giveaway. And the contest is going to be big, huge. I'll get more details on that this week. And also we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. You don't have any of them. You don't do social media at all, do you?
No, I'm not a social butterfly.
So, it's been a fun. I love talking about this stuff.
I have one question.
Okay.
Can I sign up for the
contest? No.
Yes, no.
No, you cannot. But hey, guys, go over to preppingacademy.com. We have a lot of information there. Sign up for our mailing list. And we will be here again every Friday night, 9 p.m. Next week, there'll be a lot. I'm going to take phone calls. And so come join us next Friday night, and we'll have the summary out. It's going to be about putting together your notes and keeping your book.
Yes.
So, hey, guys, thanks for joining us. Kyle?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. We're out.
Today's broadcast has come to you through the courtesy of the Prepper Broadcasting Network. See our hosts, show schedules, archive programs, and more at prepperbroadcasting.com. Thanks for listening.
Take your prepping plans and survival skills to the next level. Go to survivalsullivan.com to find a treasure of no-fluff prepping information on wilderness and urban survival, stockpiling, and much more. Everything you need to protect yourself and your loved ones. Go to survivalsullivan.com now.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
There are places to shop, and then there are shopping destinations, like Simon Premium Outlets. Here, there's always something new to discover. New styles, new brands, and always amazing prices. Simon Premium Outlets. Exceptional brands up to 65% off.
At Concord Mills, enjoy our Better Than Tax-Free weekend, August 5th through the 7th. Shop back-to-school style essentials with additional savings off already discounted prices. Visit ConcordMills.com for more details. Concord Mills, the Simon Center.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.